A few years ago, I was involved in the whole drug culture, doing drugs and drinking every day. It consumed my life. It kind of consumed who I was. And I became the type of person I absolutely hated.
My mom married when she was very young and divorced and had me. And she had kind of a wild lifestyle, so I was dropped off and unwanted, and I felt very unwanted.
When I was young, about 12 years old, I was sexually abused by somebody I really respected. And as the years went on, that spirit followed me. And when I was 18 and 19, I had abortions. I was with a man who was physically, verbally, and sexually abusive to me.
In the beginning, we were born again together, right?
Yes.
In 1974. And about 9 months after that, we found out that we were miraculously pregnant, which was a whole other story.
I became angry, I became depressed, began to use people, abuse them, and to get what I wanted. I didn't really care what they thought about me. I just wanted to fill my needs.
There was a time when I was going through a deep depression. My son was really testing waters, and it was a difficult time.
And at the time, it seemed like everybody talked me into it, even though my heart knew it was wrong. I went along with them. And as the years went by, my whole life spiraled out of control.
When Rochelle was born, there were complications, and she needed intensive care because she was considered a preemie, and we had no money.
And then a little while after, where I was really heavy into it, God led me down to Florida. At the moment, I didn't know about it, but God led me down to Florida, and a few days after I got here, a friend invited me to church. I didn't really want to go, but yet I just went anyway.
I feel that an angel brought me to Calvary. I knew this was where he wanted me, and I could see as soon as I got here, and a friend was in the parking lot and hugged me and carried me, or kind of took me in.
And for 35 years, I was all those statistics that Pastor Mike talked about. Didn't know why I was there, didn't understand why I was there, until he spoke on it at a Sunday service.
I remember coming in, we had to get there a little early. And the pastor called us into this prayer meeting. I didn't know people actually prayed. I didn't know people came together in a prayer meeting. And I remember sitting there after I closed my eyes and bowed my head. I remember feeling the power and presence of God come upon my life. I remember feeling His love for me. And I remember thinking in those moments, I never want to leave from this. I don't ever want to leave from this presence. And it was that night I decided to give my life to Christ. I'm saying, God, I'll do whatever it takes. My life is yours.
We were finding money everywhere. People would sneak into our room, and I was finding money in my clothes pockets. We were finding dishes in the baby bassinet. It was just incredible the way the Lord provided.
And He blesses me every day. He is faithful. He is so faithful to honor His word. He says what He started in me, it's not going to be complete till He's finished with me, and I believe that.
Where all the pastors were, and it was, I know now, a divine appointment.
From that day on, everything was different. My desires changed. I no longer desired to be filled with drugs. I no longer desired to be high. I want to know God. I wanted to feel that love that I once felt again.
And from there, I battled through depression and suicide, and I'm free of that.
It's amazing how God's provision is not to do with us working for it. It's just trusting in Him and that He's faithful. And sometimes when we're not even faithful.
But the good news is, God said He forgave me. When I came to him 5 years ago, he forgave me. He picked me up. He took me out of the pit of hell. He dusted me off. He straightened up my shoulders. He lifted my head. And he loves me anyway. He loves me. And he loves you just as much.
And